usual, I've got my thematic sepia tone and my fun little ditchlings, which always bothers me a little how it offsets the camera, but maybe we'll do the other ditchling front as well. No, that's too far the other way. Well, you can see its creepy little hand. How about that? All right. I find it funny. I always have to remember to turn off the ditchlings when I also use Zoom for work. I haven't yet joined a meeting forgetting that I had the ditchling background up, but I feel like it's just a matter of time before I'll have to exploit myself. Luckily, I mostly only have meetings with my manager, and she's very chill. Anyway, so we're picking up, if I recall correctly, right from the beginning of Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is very long, so I will be doing half of it today, and hopefully half of it next week. But I can't guarantee because next weekend is Labor Day weekend, and I definitely have plans that are some of them are up in the air, so pending. Tentative next week, pending. Alright. So we're picking up from... Yep, already did that. I'm gonna skip the recap today. Sunshine filters in through the dusty windows of the estate as your eyes flit open. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mines still stuck to your skin. I'm gonna take a shower. I just feel like taking a shower is the sensible thing. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. As steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, oh gosh, I'm gonna go with scrub feverishly, trying to scrape the memories from your skin as if they're part of the dirt that coats you. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Time to start your day. Well, I'm gonna look out the window. You hold your breath and approach the bedroom window. After finding that boot-printed viscera in the garden yesterday, you can't help but anticipate something staring back at you. You breathe a sigh of relief. Nothing's out there watching you. At least, nothing you can see. You turn back to the guest room. I don't remember if I've checked the closet in this run. Let's do it. How long were you going to have slept in this room without realizing you shared the space with that doll? Hopefully it doesn't get up and move while you're not around. I'm gonna go with hell no. Some things are best left untouched. You close the closet behind you. I'm going to message the group chat with Stella and Kanika. You pull out your phone and open up your group chat with Stella and Kanika. Since this is the cousin run, y'all, I actually bonded with Tabitha last night. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. And then, because I am trying to do the unlikely combination of good cousin, best friends with Tabitha, and romancing Kanika, I'm gonna also text Kanika. You pull out your phone to text Kanika. How are you holding up? It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. You've done everything you wanted to up here. It's time to start your day. But yeah, I say I want to do the Kanika romance, but I'm not going to hang out with Kanika in this run because it's mostly a Be Besties with Tabitha focused run, so we're going to hang out with Tabby. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She isn't alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. Tabitha's eyes dart to the corner of the room, almost as if she's ashamed of being caught in the act of stress-eating ice cream for breakfast. Address the red-haired woman. Hello? Janie. Good morning, I'm Janie. Why do I keep wanting to do Janie as Irish? I mean, she does have red hair. Good morning, I'm Janie, just here to do my little weekly cleaning. Whatever cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least. I could have this place looking brand new, you know? Tabitha. Don't go making any big renovations, or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Do you know, I saw on the, Black Tabby Discord some fans of the game have headcanon that Tabitha might be autistic. Or not headcanon so much as combo headcanon theorize. And, like, it hadn't occurred to me, but I'm, like, watching this and thinking about that now, and I'm like, I can totally see it. Also having a little bit of no wonder I like her so much. Janie. Okie dokie. It's so nice to finally meet you, Rowan. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped into the diner. Tabitha. Janie. But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are two completely different things, I suppose. Janie. All I'm trying to say is that it's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy part of the family is here to keep Miss Tabitha, what with everything that's... Tabitha. Janie. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. I'm gonna be like, hey Tabitha, how's it going? Tabitha. There was a massive mine collapse last night that almost got my cousin killed. So, I'm a little stressed. Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream, then discards the empty container, turning to you with her trademark scowl. Tabitha. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening, so you're coming with me. Yeah, I'm straight up going with, yay, cousin bonding time! Tabitha. I'm actually looking forward to spending some time together outside of a life or death situation. Janie, lock up when you leave, please, and don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Janie. Oh, Rowan, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just want to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. You two did right by those kids, though. What a blessing, everyone getting out of that situation all right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the keen eye exploration. You only come in here once a week, right? What do you do with the rest of your time? Janie. Oh, odd jobs mostly. Weeding gardens, cleaning houses, watching kids, that sort of thing. Alright, so I've decided, because she says okie dokie, I'm aiming for a really slight, Midwest, what is it called? No, is it the Midwestern accent? Yeah, that sounds like the right name for it, but not a strong one because I'm not good at it. Janie. My husband's the pastor, so a lot of my time's spent at the church and doing things for the community. Poor Daniel, he's been going absolutely stir-crazy since we moved here, what with nobody really attending sermons. It'd probably do him a lot of good to talk you through your worries. I'm gonna go with, I'm not Christian, but thank you for the offer. Janie. That's alright, my Daniel likes to talk with all sorts of people. He just wants to extend support to anyone who needs it. Feel free to stop by the church anytime. The door is always open. I'm gonna go with... It's been nice meeting you, but I've gotta bounce. Because I don't want to leave Tabitha waiting any longer. Tabitha. Bye, Janie. Janie. Alrighty then. Be safe out there, you two. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and into her car. The ride to town is uneventful, your cousin unsurprisingly more focused on the road than on making conversation. Tabitha. Alright, we're just popping into the general store for a few minutes. I'm just gonna say, after everything that's happened the past 2 days, it's nice to just go on an errand. Tabitha. Exactly. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kanika exits, shouting behind her. Kanika. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you never would have let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kanika storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Tabitha. Ugh, other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. I'm gonna go with this Kenai option. Out of curiosity, would you call yourself happy? Oh, I also feel like this one might be a new one because I don't remember it from before. For powerful build, you cannot get stronger if you do not fight. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the Kenai. Out of curiosity, would you call yourself happy? Tabitha pulls back, surprised by your question. Tabitha. The lessons we learn from loss are often more powerful than those we learn from victory. I'm unhappy because I took too long to learn life's difficult truths. We're burning daylight. Come on already. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smells of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Sybil. Good morning, you two. Hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Tabitha. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Sybil. Of course. Rowan, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. I'm gonna go with... Is Kanika okay? Sybil. Of course, she just needs time to cool down. Emotions are a little high, considering everything that happened yesterday. She'll settle down soon enough. I'm just glad both of my little ones made it out okay. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with a tinkling of bells. I'm gonna try to listen in, because I can. Because Kenai. You walk up to the door of the tea room to listen in. Miles. Subtle. Sybil. I know it took a little longer than you'd hoped, but this was fairly short notice. Sybil pauses, and a moment later you hear footsteps move to the far end of the tea room. She and Tabitha resume their discussion, their voices hushed. You can only make out bits and pieces of what they're saying. Tabitha. Is there... Sybil. Yes, make sure this is all... Tabitha. Not inside... Sybil. Outside, then. Don't assume you know... Tabitha. I know what I'm... Your listening session is halted as the tinkling of bells announces another patron. Incidentally, Kenai plus Street Smarts, which I'm thinking I might redo this run to be that set of skills, maybe, gets you more of that conversation. But yeah, in September I'm hoping to do cram a bunch of reruns of my other... So I have 3 main runs, and I want to cram some reruns in before episode... So I guess September and October, because... before episode 4 comes out, which is supposed to come out around Halloween. So, anyway, in this case, another 2 patrons. Duke. Well, powerful build. You've never seen the man beside Duke before, but whoever he is, he's big. Duke. If it ain't Rowan. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. They were there with Stella that night in the woods. Bo. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rowan. My name's Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Duke. Hope you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. How's Birdie doing? Duke. Oh, she's hanging in there. Too bad there's no vet in town anymore. Not that I'm certain a vet could do her much good. We got her comfortable, at least. Bo. We got her set up in a closet with a heat lamp. Been trying to feed her all her favorite foods, scrambled eggs and whatnot, but she hasn't been too interested. Duke. At least she's not out in them woods. How have you been? Are you hanging in there? Duke. Oh, I can't complain. Now that we know what's been getting at the chickens, them things won't so much as step a foot on my property. Duke. No, Duke continues. Not with Bo and me watching the perimeter with our shotguns at the ready. We even set the missus up with her pistol. Yeah, I'm not doing the old man voice great today, but it's kind of rough on the throat. Bo. Good thing we was watching. Nearly caught Julius trying to make off with Big Betty. Duke. As if he could have carried off that nearly 2,000-pound pumpkin on his own. I'd almost love to see him try. It's not like we'll be taking her to the state fair anyway. Now all she's good for is making the world's largest pumpkin pie. Bo, I don't think Mama has a tin big enough for a big Betty-sized pie, Daddy. Who's Julius? Duke. Julius Tremaine. He practically spits the name. Some cousin, however many times removed, though I don't claim him as kin. He owns the farm next to ours, except he doesn't seem to have a good grasp on whose property is whose. Bo. Thinks he owns half our land. Always sneaking around, taking vegetables we planted. Duke. Of course, the way he tells it, we're the ones stealing from him, saying he's the one putting the seeds in the ground. He's a miserable cuss, and he knows it too. Stealing vegetables born of other folks' hard labor is probably the only joy he has in life. Big Betty is a pumpkin? Duke. Sure is. Probably would have taken home at least a few ribbons in the state fair this year. Maybe even a world record if we were lucky. Ah well, my hens are more important. Bo. We'll just have to grow an even bigger one next year, Daddy. Duke. The land's been good to us. We sure growing big out on the Callaway farm. I am so sure that pumpkin in their farm is going to be super relevant in a later chapter. I just don't know when. Have you seen any of those creatures around your farm? Bo. Yeah, we saw a few of those things. They got scared off before I could start shooting. Duke. Nasty little buggers. We've all been losing sleep making sure we can keep an eye on things. It's even rubbing off on the hens. None of the little ladies have been laying this week. Bo. You know, Daddy, I bet some big mastiff could keep them things away. This seems like just the kind of job for a guard dog. Duke. Now don't you start again. We ain't getting a dog. I got enough mouths to feed, and as much as you say you'll take responsibility, I know it'd be me cleaning up after it. Besides, I don't have much faith that those things would be stopped by a dog. I saw more than a few in that nest. Alright, I feel like neither of those are really things that concern them a lot. It's like, knowing that they're ditchlings and are a bad omen isn't really going to help them any, I feel like, so I'm going to go with, I'll leave you to it. Duke. It was a pleasure running into you, Rowan, but we'd best get on with our shopping. Can't spend too long away from the farm with those little devils running around. Bo. Can't leave Mama all by herself up there for very long. Duke. You have a good one. Hope Scarlet Hollow treats you better from now on. Bo. It was nice meeting you, Rowan. And please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. They shuffle off into the aisles. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Stella. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast. If y'all want, you can swing by. Otherwise, meet at the library and figure out plan. Kanika. I think I'm good. Not really hungry. See you guys at library. Stella. Also, OMG, you gotta tell me all about it! The Tabitha bonding! Kanika. The last thing I need to hear is anything that humanizes that woman. And then it buzzes again. Kanika. Oh, hey again! If you want to hang out before the library thing, I'm parked in an abandoned lot by the gas station. It's hard to miss. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. I kind of want to hang out with Kanika, check in on her, but, like, I don't... It is actually really rude to just, like, walk out on Tabby when you're waiting for her. So I'm gonna wait for Tabitha. Your cousin will probably be back any second. It's best to just stay put. You and Miles share an uncomfortably long moment of silence as Duke and Bo continue to shop. Can't decide between you doing okay, buddy? Or how are your dailies going? Or I could just be blunt and say you and Kanika don't seem to get along, huh? I'll try to be polite. You doing okay, buddy? Miles glances up at you, eyes narrowed. Don't talk to me like we know each other. You're just Kanika's weird friend. I don't even remember your name. Okay. Miles returns to his phone. Maybe I'll try, how are your dailies going? Miles doesn't dignify your question with an answer. Yeah, okay, fine. I tried to bond with Miles, it didn't work. Tabitha bursts out of the tea room, tucking a pouch of herbs into her coat as she walks. She looks up at you in surprise. Tabitha. Wow, you actually stayed. I kind of expected you to go running off the instant I left you alone. I mean, and miss out on cousin bonding time is kind of what I want to answer, but I actually also, like, family is important. I'm not just gonna ditch you. Tabitha. That's appreciated. I've got a couple hours to spare. I could pick us up some sodas and we could get out of here. I don't like lingering where anyone could just walk up and start talking to me. Tabitha leaves the store, motioning for you to follow. Tabitha stops in front of a small house on the quiet hill just off Main Street. Tabitha. The Scarlets own most of the houses out here. We rent them out to employees. Just more convenient, you know? Cool. Tabitha. Yeah, it is cool. It's nice to have a place where nobody can bother me. Now, come on, let's make ourselves scarce before we're spotted. Your cousin pulls out a heavy set of keys from her pockets. She picks out one marked with a bright strip of green tape and unlocks the door. Tabitha. Come on in. Don't worry, it's empty. I just like seeing her be all comfortable and smiley. Like, you can see her expressions getting more unguarded. You follow your cousin into the model home. Tabitha. We haven't rented this one out for years. I come here to get away from it all? Does that make sense? It's kind of like a vacation home, but I don't have to travel. Anyway, make yourself comfortable and have a soda. Tabitha hands you a cream soda before settling in on the couch. Kenai. This place clearly gets cleaned regularly, but it doesn't feel like a real home. It feels like a set piece, like you've both wandered into a play, and if you were to look at the walls from another angle, you'd see them as the two-dimensional illusions they are. Gosh. Oh, there's so many explore options. Okay, we're gonna go through as many as possible. So let's start with... I'm actually gonna start with talking about the family. What was Pearl Ann like? Tabitha. Silence. Okay, I guess you should know at least some things about the woman whose funeral you'll be attending. She was my mother. She was your mom's twin sister. Fraternal. They didn't look alike. Same with their personalities. Night and day, from what I've heard. Pearl Ann was a hard ass, but that comes with the territory. I mean, what else do you want to know? How did she die? Tabitha. Sleep apnea. Did you two get along? Tabitha. No, that woman was a monster. What was your dad like? Tabitha. Don't know. He just up and left one day. Didn't want anything to do with us anymore, I guess. They never got divorced, just separated. He probably couldn't be bothered to fill out any paperwork, especially considering he would lose any and all claim to the Scarlet fortune if they divorced. And he'd have to pay child support for a kid he couldn't be bothered to call on her birthday. Oh man, there's a couple of good options here. And a couple of bad options, but, like, I do wonder, based on things we know from like, other runs, if her dad was maybe sacrificed in some weird Scarlet family ritual, like Charles Shaw was. Anyway, I'm tempted to be like, does no one in this town have two parents? But, like, I also kind of want to be like, I'm sorry, that must have been really hard for you, but she doesn't always like when people are just super nice to her. So, I don't feel like Hooray, another member of the Deadbeat Dads Club, is, like, the right vibe. So I actually think I'll just go with, sounds like he was a real loser. Tabitha. That's what Pearl Ann always said. I just don't really think about him anymore. If he didn't want anything to do with me, his loss. Okay. What do you think of Silas and those other old-timers? Tabitha. It's complicated. They built the town, they built the mine, they're the whole reason you and I are here today. They weren't angels, I know that, but they're dead. They've been dead a long time. Alright, let's talk about us. I'm gonna be like, what kind of things did Pearland tell you about me and my mom? Tabitha. It doesn't matter what she's told anyone about you. She's dead, and in a few days we're gonna bury her in the ground. I definitely don't want to say some of these other things, but I feel like I can't believe we're actually hanging out is a little too excitable. What do you really think of me? Tabitha. I'm glad you're here. Please don't make me say anything more than that. It's degrading for both of us. And that was one of the things I wanted to show off. When Tabitha actually likes you and you ask her what she really thinks of you, she just says, I'm glad you're here. And it makes me happy because that's a good sign that I've succeeded at getting Tabitha to like me. I think I'm gonna go with, I'm really glad I came up here. Tabitha pauses as she takes a long, contemplative swig of her soda. Tabitha. Yeah. Alright, let's talk about Tabitha. Let's go with that keen eye one right away. Is the estate stifling to you? Is that why you come here? Tabitha sips her soda, her expression suddenly heavy. Tabitha. I guess the estate has a lot of history. This place is so new by comparison. It's like the estate is full of ghosts, pressing down on me all the time, pressuring me to do what they want. When I'm here, I can imagine a life where I don't have to think about the 200 years of history resting on my shoulders. I can imagine just living as a bank teller or something, having a simple life. Do you like living here? Tabitha. It's the only thing I know. I'm gonna go with, you don't need to have lived somewhere else to know if you like it here. Tabitha. I respectfully disagree. Everything in life requires context to properly understand. And I don't have context here. Yeah, and I'm not gonna call her out on it. I mean, she doesn't mind being called out on things, but... I mean, actually, it is kind of funny to be like, I've heard you dunk on city folks. Are you telling me you've never even been to a city? Tabitha. I've never set foot out of Scarlet Hollow. No. Before I took over, Pearland was too busy to take me anywhere. Then, when she retired and I became head of the company, I wound up in the same boat. It's not like anyone can fill in for you when you run everything. I'd like to go to the Outer Banks one day, but I guess that'll have to wait until I retire. If I ever do. Gosh. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with, maybe when this week is over, we can go to the beach together. Tabitha. Yeah, maybe. I think I'd like that. Obviously I don't need to ask, do you ever get to travel, because we already know the answer to that. I know the tea she picked up is not tea, so I don't want to poke on that landmine. Do you actually like running the mines? Tabitha. Of course not, but that doesn't really matter. I've had years of Pearland drilling that into my head. I can't trust anyone else to do my job, and if I don't do it, this entire town falls to ruin. It's my burden to bear. Though, I'd be lying if I said I haven't thought about running off. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with, what if I moved here after everything's said and done? And not to, like, take over the mines, so I'm not gonna say you could give the mines to me. I mean, I do kind of want to ask, what would you want to do if you weren't here? But, like, I also am like, what if I moved here after everything's said and done? You know, came and helped you out, is the idea that I'm implying here. I could help out around the mines. Tabitha. I don't think you want to do that. Nobody should want to do that. This task is my burden, and I intend to keep it that way. Alright, let's ask about the people in town. Yeah, we'll just go down the list. I'm supposed to have dinner at Reese's place. Do you know him? Tabitha. Reese? Oh, yeah, that dude that used to hang out with Kanika and Stella. I kind of remember him. Quiet. Gave off a weird vibe. Stopped coming to school at one point. I guess he got sick or something? I know his mom better than I know him. She's been everybody's doctor for as long as I can remember. She's intimidating. I've always liked her. Guess that's not hereditary, though. Reese always seemed like a bit of a wet blanket to me. Alright. Next I'm gonna ask the question on everyone's mind. I know I've already asked, but now that we're hanging out, can you tell me what the deal is with you and Stella? Tabitha. Alright, fine. We were close in high school. Really, really close. We'd have sleepovers a few nights a week, spend all night watching monster movies and eating chips, and... Anyway, Pearl Ann didn't like her. I'd always have to lie and say I was going over to her place to study. When we graduated, it was impossible to see her anymore. There were no more excuses to go study, and I was too busy learning the ropes at the mine. Pearl Ann made sure my every waking minute was occupied. I didn't have time for friends. But I never needed friends before meeting Stella, so it was easy enough to slip back into that mindset and try to move on. Oh gosh, no, I'm not going to say I'm into her. I'm super not into her. I have some of these other things I want to say, but... okay, so it's like, you should hang out with her again. It's not like Pearl Ann can stop you. So, if I didn't have Kenai, I would definitely go with you should hang out with her again. It's not like Pearl Ann can stop you. But since I do have Kenai, I think I am gonna go, why ban her from your property, though? You're acting like Pearl Ann ended it all, but Stella hasn't stopped trying to be there for you. Tabitha. I don't know. Pearl Ann made me do it, and she's not even in the ground yet. I haven't had time to figure out how I feel. Alright, well, moving on from that one. So, yes, we know very well that Tabitha and Stella were dating in high school, and I am definitely trying to hook them back up. Because they both definitely still have feelings for each other. So, do you want me to try and get you in with Kanika? Tabitha. Please, if she's anything like me, that would only make her hate me more. I have dignity, Rowan. Alright, moving on. You had some harsh things to say about Oscar last night. Do you really believe what you said? Tabitha. I do. Some people shouldn't have kids. Alright, what do you think of Avery? Tabitha. Who? Avery? Works at the diner? Wears plant shirts? Tabitha. I have no idea who you're talking about. I mean, that makes sense. She just said she doesn't get out much, and Avery's a recent-ish transplant. And I bet she's never set foot in the diner, which means that she's had very little opportunity to interact with him. Them. Do you know Sybil well? Tabitha. Everyone in town knows her. But I don't know if anyone actually knows her well. Why did you hire Janie? Tabitha. Pearl Ann hired Janie. She was my babysitter before she started cleaning the estate. Are you sure you don't want to talk about Wayne? Tabitha. Yeah, sorry. It's a sore spot for me. Like I said, I don't know who's following you around, but it can't be him. Pearl Ann sent him packing. He's gone. I'm not gonna do the man is stalking me. Come on, you can trust me feels a little pushy. But I also want to push a little more than okay boundaries respected. Or even alright fine. So I'm gonna be like, at some point this week you're gonna have to stop brushing off everything that's happening around town. Tabitha. Do you think I'm brushing things off? I'm dealing with a mine collapse right now. I'm burying my mother in 4 days. My work is what keeps this town running. Just because I'm focusing on what's in front of me doesn't mean I don't care. Do I like that answer? I I might not like that answer. I'm sorry, I don't usually do this, but... nope, that's not what I want. I never did figure out how to... Well, hit settings, load, and from an autosave would have been from... Yeah, okay, so we're gonna pick back up from that question, and I'm gonna try... Come on, you can trust me? Tabitha, look, I trust you, but this isn't about trust. Some things just don't need to be dug up. Alright, I have gotten more out of her in this scene before in a private run, but it was with Kenai and Street Smarts, so I think I'm gonna... So I think this will be a fun scene to redo once I have, once I redo this run with Street Smarts. The only reason I did this character as powerful build is because I started this run right after the big update, and powerful build was one of the things they changed the most, so I wanted to see it. But like for moving forward, I want to redo all of my 3 runs. So I have the Thembo, who is powerful build / hot, because that's how you get himbo energy. And I want to rename that character since I have multiple characters. Oh, hello, Box Puppy! I was just distracted briefly going over my plans to redo my current playthroughs. So I want to like start all of them over again from the beginning, since there were a lot of changes to powerful build and mystic, and I also want to change, when I get back to this one, I want to change the skills, because I only did powerful build to see what the changes were. So I think ultimately what I want is 3 runs. One of them is my Thembo character, who is has powerful build and hot. The other one will be this. I really liked the character of Silent Max, and it's a good way to get talk to animals and mystic in. And then this character I'm gonna also go back and redo eventually, once I've gone through the other ones, with Kenai and Street Smart instead of Kenai and powerful build. So that is eventually. For now, though, I am doing the first half of chapter 3, and I'm gonna like finish this run first, and then I'll go start over again from the Thembo run. And I'm also gonna try to do each chapter as a single stream, which is gonna be a lot, but you know, I've got all of September and October to try and get through all of them before chapter 4 comes out, so we'll see how it goes. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go with... Are you coming ghost hunting with us tonight? Tabitha, is that actually happening? Stella will be there. I want to say that differently. Is that actually happening? Stella will be there. But so will Kanika. I doubt she'd be thrilled to see me again, but there's no point arguing with you. If you're gonna get up to any paranormal stuff, I'd better be there to save your skin if it gets hairy. Count me in. Yay! Tabitha friendship! Yes! Thanks for taking... So I already went through the talk to Tabitha options, and I didn't want to do the other 2. So yeah, so that wraps up the conversation, and I'm just gonna be... Thanks for taking me out here. Your phone buzzes before Tabitha has a chance to respond. Stella. Almost forgot! It's Mayor Jimmy Day! Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar and Rosalina. Meet you all there in half an hour. Kanika. I totally blanked on that. Been having a weird / foggy morning. Frowny face. Wild that they're still doing the Mayor Jimmy thing, even after last night. Do you think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should go see Oscar. See y'all soon. Tabitha. Someone's popular. It's Mayor Jimmy Day? Tabitha. Ugh, what a ridiculous event. You know he's a dog, right? Did they fill you in on that little detail? We haven't had a human mayor in Scarlet Hollow since at least the early 1900s. We've been a dog mayor town since then. Tabitha takes another sip of her soda, smirking. Everyone knows it's our family that holds the power in this town. Still, sounds like it could be kind of fun. Even I can admit it's funny watching everyone fawning over the little guy in his mayor getup. And Stella's gonna be there. Oh, that precious smile for Stella! Oh, I ship them so much! So much! Tabitha. Yeah, count me in. We can finish our sodas and head over. Tabitha. How do I look? It's been a while since I've been out in public like this. I'm kind of nervous. I'm so mad at Becca's jerk of a mom. I was so excited that we get to take Tabby out. Oh, hello, Puka! That is absolutely reasonable, Pukara. You should totally play this, and you should also play it on stream because I would love to watch you play it. Right, so Keen Eye. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see a furious woman making a beeline for you and Tabitha. Becca slinking behind her. This must be her mother. Tabitha, someone's coming. Tabitha. What? Becca's mom. Excuse me, Miss Scarlet. Tabitha. Can I help you? Becca stares at you from a distance as the furious woman tears into Tabitha. This must be her mother. Becca's mom. What the hell do you think you're doing here, grinning like a buffoon after everything that happened last night? A mind collapse almost killing my poor, sweet, innocent child, and you thought it was a good idea to retaliate by demoting my husband? We've gotten used to a new lifestyle. You can't just take that away from us for something that was your fault. Don't think I won't be pressing charges. Becca. Ugh, Mom, please, you're embarrassing me. Becca's mom. Shut up, Becca. Mommy's advocating for you. Oh, these are all such good... You know, obviously, you shouldn't talk to your daughter like that. It's bad parenting. Is true. Your husband told your daughter it was safe to go into that mine. Of course he was demoted. Also true. You're here complaining about your husband being demoted? I almost died trying to help your daughter. Also true. You're lucky your daughter didn't get herself killed last night. Also true. Just ignore her, Tabitha. Not really an option, unfortunately, with this kind of personality. She kind of has a point. It's 100% not something I agree with. However, there's this great new powerful build option that I fucking love. So that's what we're going with. Although, if I didn't have that option, I'd probably go with this one. Your husband told your daughter it was safe to go in that mine. Of course he was demoted. But yeah, since on this run I do have powerful build, we're gonna go with, if you've got a problem with Tabitha, you've got a problem with me. Becca's mom. Are you threatening me? When I get a lawyer, he's going to have a field day with you two. Tabitha. What legal grounds do you think you even have? There are signs, the place was boarded up, I did my legal duty, and you don't have a leg to stand on, so don't try to threaten me. Becca. Mom, can we just go, please? Tabitha. If I were you, I'd listen to your brat. Becca's mom. You haven't heard the last from us. You'll see. The woman storms off just as quickly as she'd stormed in, Becca following at a distance. Tabitha. God damn it, she's right. I can't just hang around town the day after something like that. It doesn't look right. I should be up there, even if it's just to oversee what's going on. If I'm supposed to run the place, I've got to get my head in the game. I can't slip up like this again. Tabitha sighs, straightening up. Her scowl returns. Tabitha. Stay out of trouble. I'll see you at the library tonight. Your cousin turns and heads back to her car, leaving you alone on Main Street. Becca's mom is the worst. You enter the library alone. It's busier than usual, and a small crowd has formed in a corner of the main foyer. Stella. Yes, you're here! Kanika. I half expected you to have finally skipped town. Stella. Yes, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Rowan to the mayor for, like, the entire time I've known them. Kanika. It'll be worth it. Trust us. Stella. Alright, shall we? Oh, that's totally fair, Box Puppy, but that sounds cool. I don't know. I feel like it's fun to rebuild characters, so that sounds both cool and like a pain at the same time. That was my assessment, anyway. In my personal opinion. Anyway, yep, he's a dog. Keen Eye. And judging from the series of portraits lining the wall, Tabitha wasn't pulling your leg. Every mayor of Scarlet Hollow in living memory has also been a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Ah, Gretchen's little anky face is so good. You haven't met the serious man by his side, but you have to assume that he's the mayor's handler. He holds out a paw as if to shake your hand. Oh, I don't like any of these options. I think maybe I'll just go with, it's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor. You reach forward to take the mayor's little paw in your hand, but his burly security detail stops you. Security goon. No paw shaking. Only head pats and ear scratches allowed. Stella. I'm so glad no one ruined the surprise. Okay, someone did, but I don't have to let them know that. I actually kind of like that for this character, that she's politely... I am going to change the character also from they, them to she, her, because I actually kind of like the idea of having a character for each set of pronouns. But yeah, so this character, I like the idea of this character kind of maintaining the polite fiction of pretending that no one revealed it ahead of time. Kanika. This town has had a dog mare since the early 1900s. That's just how we do things around here for some reason. Stella. It's the best part of living in Scarlet Hollow, besides the nature. And all my friends, and Winnie's Biscuits, and the close-knit small-town community, of course. But having a dog mare is a close fifth, no contest. Gretchen squirms in Stella's arms, straining to get at Mayor Jimmy. Stella. Hey, whoa, Gretchen. Calm down, old girl. You're gonna pull a muscle. Security goon. Miss Richmond, I'm gonna have to ask you and your dog to step away from the mayor. Stella. I should have known better. These two have never been able to get along. Stella walks off, struggling to hold Gretchen back. Kanika is quick to follow. And I follow them. It looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Strange man. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Rowan? Everyone's been buzzing about you. Can I just say that this, for a man who has a wife and a child, he gives off extremely gay energy to me? Like, dude twigs my gaydar. I don't know why, he's just a drawing, but he kinda does. Anyway, Pastor Daniel continues, I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. I'll just go with, Janie mentioned you this morning. Pastor Daniel, that woman is the light of my life. I'm so glad she's there to help your cousin through this rough patch. Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, I should go. It was nice meeting you, though. Pastor Daniel. Of course, and if you find yourself in need of counseling or spiritual guidance, you know where to find me. Yeah, I've decided to play this character as not really religious, so I'll go with that. I'm not really religious. Pastor Daniel. There's no need to have a religious background. Counseling is much more about giving people an opportunity to be heard. And you know what? I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a pity that everyone in this town has a weird thing about the church, which is probably because of the demons, let's be real. Because this dude seems like he's offering free therapy, and most of this town could really use it. Anyway, Pastor Daniel. I'm not going to try and convert you or anything. I just want to help support the fine folks of this community and their families in any way I can. And that includes you. No pressure, of course, but if you ever feel like you're struggling and could use a good listener, you know where to find me. It was lovely to meet you, and you have a blessed day, Rowan. The pastor leaves you be and joins in the line to see the mayor. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. I'm still so excited about the time that I found out that he actually also can talk to animals. Anyway, go after the companions. You find them already talking to Oscar deeper into the library. Kanika. Are you sure we can't just get it over with while the sun is up? I don't know if I can handle getting scared shitless in the dark 2 nights in a row. Oscar. I wish we could, especially since I'm not particularly excited about going back in there after dark either. But I'm pretty sure it only comes out when the sun goes down. Stella. Yeah, there's no way I'm going in until that spirit is at full power. I want to be sure we get the best evidence possible. This could be my one shot to get real proof of ghosts. I'm not gonna waste it just because I'm impatient. Kanika. Y'all are gonna be the death of me. Oscar. I just hope it's possible to get rid of this thing. This is a pretty serious ghost infestation? Is that what you'd call something like this? Stella. I believe it's called a haunting, but ghost infestation also sounds good. I suppose we're the ghost hunters, so we can call it whatever we want. Anyway, I'll be bringing all the ghost hunting supplies anyone could ever need, so we should be set on preparations. The only thing y'all need to bring is an open mind. I think I'm gonna go with, don't worry, Oscar, we'll fix this. Stella. Heck yeah, we will! Kanika. Yeah, whatever this is, we'll get to the bottom of it. Tonight. Oscar. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Kanika. Well, if we're not doing the hunt now, I guess we should head over to Reese's? Stella. Absolutely. Come on, Rowan. Time to go bother our friend. Oscar. I'm gonna get back to it. See y'all tonight. Time to go. I gotta remember, should we invite Avery ghost hunting? Stella. Oh, yeah, totally. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that. I'm sure they'd get a hoot out of it. Kanika. Yeah, I can't say I mind having a calming presence with us tonight. We won't be much help to Oscar if we start jumping at our own shadows. Stella. Cool. I'll text them on the way over to Reese's. And that dovetails nicely with, oh, before I forget, I invited Tabitha to come ghost hunting. Kanika. You invited her? Even after last night? Stella. I mean, if anything, I thought she was actually pretty helpful. Good call, Rowan. I can't wait to hang out with her more. Kanika sighs. Alright, it happened. Let's not get into it. If we're lucky, she'll be too busy at the mines to even show. Stella. Oh, don't say that, Neeks. If we're lucky, she will show, and the two of you will finally get along. So, Alright, then I'm gonna do the one last explore, because there's no reason not to. So, I finally met Pastor Daniel. Kanika. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving these little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. Yeah, you know what? I feel really, really, really bad for him, so I actually am gonna... Well, no, because I feel like that's very much my Thembo option. I don't have to do an option as all my other characters. That's fine. Yeah, no. Maybe for now I'll just be like, that's all I have to say, really. I met him. He has been met. I have no opinions on the man. Okay, interesting. Their faces and then Stella following up. Wow, really? I've always thought he makes a memorably skin-crawling first impression. Kanika. Yeah, he has a tendency to stick in people's minds for one reason or another, and they're almost never good reasons. The man was grinning through all of my dad's funeral. As far as I'm concerned, he's a ghoul. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental illness kind of way. There's just this little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. I'm not ruling out the possibility that the pastor could actually be a creep, but what I think is slightly more likely is that he was smiling because people were actually in the church for once, though still, little inappropriate dude. And the reason everybody gets a really bad, creepy feeling from the pastor is because of the demon shit going down in Scarlet Hollow. Stella. That's exactly how I would describe it, too. The whole town feels the same way. Now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. Kanika. He can look for friends somewhere else. Alright, let's go to Reese's. Stella. Alright, shall we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. Alright, and with that, I'm going to take a brief break, mostly to refill my water. I will be back soon. Actually, I am going to go to the next scene just to get it to play some nice music. Oh, I forgot to turn off the music. I hope it's been audible. Alright, so be right back. Alright, I'm returned, and also welcome back, Box Puppy. And wow, it does not feel real that September is in a couple days. Like, where did the entire summer go? I mean, the answer is it went into many fun things that I did over the course of the summer. It's just that time is a thing that is easy to lose track of. Alright. You once again find yourself in front of Reese's house. Cold hesitation grips you as the building looms over the hilltop. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. Kanika. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? Stella. There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Kanika. Okay, but what if she yells at us? It's too late. The door swings open. Reese. Hey! Stella. Reese! Kanika. Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. Reese. You must be Rowan, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Rowan updates. Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip as she tries to get between them. Dr. Kelly. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella. And you brought the dog. Great. Stella. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. Dr. Kelly. The dog stays outside. Stella. But... Kanika. It's okay, Stella. We can let her chill in my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know I always have some of those easy-chew dog jerkies stashed away. Stella. But we go everywhere together. Dr. Kelly. Do you want to come in or not? Poor Stella, having her emotional support pug ripped away. I mean, better the temporary separation than in any version where you don't have powerful build and you choose to save Duke. Which, truth be told, this run, when I redo it, is probably going to be like that, so that's gonna suck. Box Peppy, just saw your chat, and like, 100%, yeah. Yeah, older you get, more time seems to fly. I don't disagree with that. I definitely was, like, talking to my, eldest, well, not actually my eldest nephew, but my eldest nephew on my side, like, eldest of my sister's kids, and was trying very hard to remember ages and, like, guessed his age wrong by a year or two. And he was, like, making fun of me a bit for it. He's 15. And not like, cruelly making fun of it, laughing at me for it, I think is a better way to say it. And I'm like, and I straight up said to him, like, look, time moves a lot faster when you get to be, like, more as you get older, the more time runs faster. It feels like the time yeah, I only met that, like, anyway, that's a long story. But long story short, I was telling a teenager just the other day about how time flows differently as a teenager and as a child than it does as an adult. Oh, cool! Black Tabby Games is doing a Q&A for Scarlet Hollow and Slay the Princess with the VA for the Princess, and they'll also be playing Phasmagoria, I assume that's short for. Is that happening, like, now? Or because I'm gonna finish the half of the chapter I plan to do today, but if they're still going, if I happen to overlap with them, I might just go raid them. Send anyone interested in the Scarlet Hollow and Slay the Black Tabby universe. Alright, I might still be on. Well, we'll see. But I will definitely watch at least some of that, or watch it later if I can, because I've got some plans, like, later in the evening, but I should be able to catch a little of it. Anyway. Kanika nervously tugs Stella away towards her van. Dr. Kelly. Well, what about you, Rowan? Are you coming in? Oh, sure. You follow Reese and Dr. Kelly inside. Stella and Kanika aren't far behind you. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you'd wandered into a real estate showing. Stella. So, how can I lend a hand? Dr. Kelly. By sitting down at the table and not puttering around in my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner, and you can leave my house and go on about your business. Kanika. But I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. Reese. We still have time now, right? Dr. Kelly. You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? Reese. It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. Stella. I don't mind a little mess. Kanika. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. Dr. Kelly. Yes, okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Reese. Cool. We'll be just downstairs. Stella. You won't even know we're here. You make your way towards the basement stairs. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all of his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketchbooks leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. I still wonder if some of these might be like hints for whatever is actually wrong with him. We know it's not like a traditional monster, because I believe Black Tabby Games has talked about how like they created new, or they either used like folktales or like there shouldn't be any standard like vampire, werewolf, whatever. Any monsters in this are a little uniquer. I still think he might be demon possessed or like a zombie sort of zombie ghoul and like technically dead and being kept alive by demon powers, but that's my personal theory. Anyway, Kanika. Your mom is so scary. Reese. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. I do like, do you need us to break you out of here? I don't think your mom could stop me. I think I will skip that. So, has Stella told you about everything that's happened the past couple of days? Reese. Oh, she's told me all about what you guys have found out there. I wish I could see some of it myself, but, you know. He gestures in futility towards the walls of the basement. Stella. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? Reese. The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. Stella. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to... Reese. There's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort. Really, I do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die's already been cast. But we were talking about the past couple days, weren't we? Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Reese. Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Stella. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they looked like something out of your nightmares? Reese. Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. I'm looking around now for ditchling sketches. I think maybe this down here is kind of Ditchling-esque. But I don't really see anything else that is... You know, as I'm staring at the really disturbing artwork, this one in the corner here reminds me of Wayne. However, I also think it's more of like, this is clearly himself. This is probably also the stretching skin is also probably reflective. Like, a lot of these are reflective of his own experience in a lot of in ways that seem pretty clear. Anyway. Oh wait, right, he shows the sketches of the Ditchlings. I forgot about that. But hey, it was an excuse to look at the art, and there's nothing wrong with that. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. Kanika. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. Stella. What does it mean that they've been lurking around here, though? Reese. I don't know, but I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. No, I don't know. I don't like how I read that. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. There we go. I don't know why I felt the need to repeat that line 3 times. Kanika. Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. Do you think the town is doomed? Reese. I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. Stella. I would totally tell you if there was a riot. Kanika. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? Reese. I mean, yeah, I'd hope so, but the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. What do you think of my cousin? Reese. She was always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she had it out for me personally if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. But people change. Maybe she's nicer now. Kanika. She's still terrible. Stella. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. Yeah, I'm with Stella. She is. She is very funny and sweet when you get to know her. She just puts up a lot of walls, and they make her more unpleasant to be around. Kanika. I'll pass, thanks. What do you think is going on with Wayne? Reese. Who? Stella. You know, that guy that's been following Rowan around, being all ominous? Reese. Oh yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look, for all our sakes. Your whole situation's gotta be rough. Sorry. Reese. Thanks, but I've been dealing with this thing for a while, so you don't have to feel sorry for me. I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. Stella. Ha, you're so macabre, Reese. Macabre, I think. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. Reese. Silence. Stella. You haven't, right? Reese. Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches like there are worms crawling underneath it. I could live for a long time or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So, I've done my mourning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable. But one day I'll wind up in a pine box just like everyone else, and I'm okay with that. Kanika. Dang, Reese! I may be a goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. Stella. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Reese. Thanks, guys, but really, you shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine, really. What's your diagnosis, if you don't mind me asking? Reese. I don't mind, though the answer isn't very illuminating. It's not one particular thing, but a whole mess of nasty little things that add up to one big diagnosis of bad genes. Guess I pulled the losing card in the DNA lottery. I feel like I have friends that have basically not dissimilar levels of, maybe not to the level that Reese does, because like it seems like he really can't leave his house for long periods of time. But like I definitely have friends who did poorly in the genetic lottery, and also have wacky combinations of things that are making them kind of various flavors of chronically ill, and it sucks. Reese. And hey, it isn't all bad. Some of it is just weird, like this. Very mild content warning, his skin stretches a little uncannily. Reese pulls on the skin of his arm. It stretches unnaturally. Reese. Hyperelasticity. Kinda cool, right? Stella. Whoa! Kanika. Does that not hurt? Reese. Nope, it feels fine. Like I said, it gets itchy under the skin sometimes, but I don't know if that's the elasticity, the medicine, or some other part of my condition. Your art. Gosh, I don't want to say any of these things. I mean, I guess it's grotesque, but that feels rude to say. There sure is a lot of it. Reese. Yeah, it's kind of a compulsion. Being stuck down here all the time can be pretty frustrating. My emotions have nowhere to go, so they just writhe and grow inside of me and pick me apart from within. But when it gets bad, I can just pick up a paintbrush and let them flow out of me and onto the canvas. Like I can trap them somewhere outside of myself, at least for a little while. Oh right, this reminds me of my other pet theory that someday all of his paintings are going to come alive. That he's actually trapping malevolent spirits in them by accident. I think that one's not as likely, but something with the art being creepy might happen. Reese. But they come back over and over again, so I keep painting. Stella. You know, you could gain a real following if you ever posted these online. Just saying. Reese. Nah, I think I'm okay sticking to sparsely populated late-night live streams. That's all the social media I can handle. I don't know how you do it, Stella. Having to exist in front of all those people all the time. I'm good. I don't actually exist in front of that many people, personally. Because, you know, whenever they talk about the streaming, I always think about the fact that I'm playing this on a stream. Anyway, Reese. Knowing some version of you lives in their heads. Knowing they expect something out of you that you might not be able to give them. Kanika. Okay, but if the only time you ever put your art on display is a live stream during ghoul hours, when am I going to be able to see what you've been working on? Reese. Tell you what, when I die, I'll leave you my paintings. Then you can see them all. And maybe they'll be worth millions, since I'll be dead. I'd be able to rest easy knowing someone had retroactively given my life value. That's quite a movie collection you've got. Got any recs? Reese. Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shi-no-Chi, Deathblood? I saw that for the first time recently, and it blew me away. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. We could even put it on after dinner, if you guys are interested. Kanika. Dang, I would usually be down for that, but we've got to head over to Oscar's after this. Stella. We promised we'd ghost bust his place. He's apparently been dealing with a bad haunting. Kanika. And I feel like we should really be there for him tonight, considering everything that's happened. He and Rosalina both need our support right now. I'll take a rain check on that movie, though. Stella. Yeah, we'll definitely come by for a movie night this week. I'm free tomorrow night, same goes for Rowan. Kanika. I should probably work tomorrow, but... I love how Stella just speaks for me. Like, you know... Player is free too, because I basically am crafting the player's schedule for them. Not totally intended, not like in a controlling way or anything, just Stella knows most of what the player is doing because Stella is planning for the player. Anyway, Kanika, I should probably work tomorrow, but I can close up early. Alright, so you three go way back, huh? Stella. Almost to the... sorry. The school here is a... Almost from when we were... before we were born. The school here is a tiny K-12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks, and were stuck with them throughout their whole school year. Or school career. Yeah, school career is even longer than school year. Poor kids. Kanika. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks, like a certain Scarlet I could name. Stella. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you got past that. Reese. Maybe to you. The way she used to look at me, you'd think I'd rolled in something foul every morning before school. Kanika. Same here, though to be fair, that feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. I think I'm not gonna offer to model as this character. Not really vibing. Wanna come ghost hunting with us tonight? Stella. Oh wow, do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Kanika. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. Reese. That would be so amazing, but I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town is enough to put me in bed for a week. It sucks. But make sure to bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. Alright, I'm gonna skip over the rest and be like, dinner's gotta be ready by now, right? Almost on cue, Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dr. Kelly. Dinner's on the table! Reese. Guess that's it for catching up. Dr. Kelly. Make sure you all wash your hands with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Stella. Sure thing, Doc. Oh my god, lie. I'm allergic to soap and can't wash my hands. Why would you do that? I'm gonna go with the yes, ma'am. You make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a hospital waiting room. But more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it. Something dark and cold. Something that reminds you of the dusty tunnels you narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum just beyond your hearing fills the air, and you feel strange. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door. I'm not going to read every single one, but open the door, maybe open the door. Open the door. Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hand, your heart full of both deep dread and a compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. Dr. Kelly. What do you think you're doing? Well? I need to see what's behind this door. Dr. Kelly. No, you don't. You need to wash your hands, eat dinner, and then get out of my house. You won't let her interrupt you. You need to know what's behind the door. Dr. Kelly. Oh, no, you don't. Come on, wash your hands and sit down. She grabs you by the shoulder, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning up under her watchful eyes and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun, in the window behind her. Powerful build. It's a position of authority, where her height gives her a vantage point over everyone else. No one at this table does anything without her noticing. It almost feels like, despite the presence of your friends, this is strictly a conversation between you and the doctor. Dr. Kelly. Pills. She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows them. Stella. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? Dr. Kelly. No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Stella. Well, you have excellent taste in brands, and if you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauces, you know I... Dr. Kelly. No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Kanika. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. About Reese. What exactly does he have? Dr. Kelly. He has a combination of genetic diseases that give him a fragile immune system, among other things. It's too much to get into, a lot of technical terms that I'd have to explain. It's not good dinner talk, and it can't be pleasant for him to have to hear it again, so let's drop it. Reese. I'm fine talking about it. Dr. Kelly. I'd rather we talk about something else. Kenai. Dr. Kelly's eyes briefly, nervously glanced towards her son, before flitting back to a position of annoyance. Right. We know that she's afraid of her son. We don't know why. You can't help but feel like what you saw went beyond compassionate worry to be genuine fear. Do you think Reese might feel better if he got to see people more often? Dr. Kelly. No. I'm his doctor and his mother. You are someone who met him for the first time less than half an hour ago. One of us is a little more qualified to make decisions about his life. Oh, Fox Puppy, apparently you can have a calmer dinner if you have the hot trait. I mean, I did go through this with my Thembo character, and I feel like it was a little less confrontational. Reese. You know, Doc, I feel pretty okay. I mean, as okay as I usually do, so still kind of shitty. But I don't think having people over has been as rough on my health as you thought it might be. It's been really nice. Stella. Hear that? Reese can hang out with friends again. If you're still feeling okay after dinner, maybe you can even come ghost hunting with him. Stella. Ow! Jeez, Kanika, what was that for? Kanika. Don't push it, Stella! Stella. Just say that next time instead of kicking me. Your boots are heavy. Kanika. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. We're totally respectful of Reese's boundaries, even though they might seem a little arbitrary and strict. Dr. Kelly. They're not arbitrary. Those rules are in place for a good reason. Tell me how great you feel in an hour when the exhaustion catches up to you, Reese. You'll be knocked out all evening and regretting every minute of this, let me assure you. Reese. As if I would regret being able to see people for the first time in months. I don't care what happens. It was worth it. Aside from Reese's mom staring down at the table, nobody is making eye contact. Staring down the table, nobody is making eye contact with anybody else. Reese is a talented artist. You must be very proud of him. Dr. Kelly. He has a lot of skill, honed through practice and dedication. I can't say I understand a lot of his pieces, but of course I'm proud. Reese. Thanks, Doc. Let's small talk. Thanks for putting this together, Dr. Kelly. Dr. Kelly. I don't usually have to cook for so many people. I'm just glad there's enough for everyone. It reminded me of what it used to be like when these two would come over. Hungry teenagers, eating me out of house and home. I should have charged your parents for all the food you kids went through. Honestly, it was like I was running a restaurant, not a doctor's office. But she's smiling. I'm not gonna ask that because it's not polite to go wandering around other people's homes, so I'm trying to, I have decided that this character errs on the side of being polite. What were Stella and Kanika like as kids? Dr. Kelly. Noisy and messy, like all kids. Kenai. There's suddenly a wistful look in her eye, like she's glimpsing back to some brighter time in her life. Kanika softens too, her shoulders lowering from their defensive place by her ears. Dr. Kelly. And they always had those little projects, videos or crafts or animal rescues, whatever it was that had captured their imaginations that week. Kenai. The glimmer of joy at the corner of her eyes fades. Her glower returns in its place. Dr. Kelly. So, like I said, noisy and messy. Stella. Didn't we bring a dead squirrel into your house once? Kanika. Oh god, not the squirrel. Reese. I remember that squirrel. Didn't you think the dog could Frankenstein it back to life or something? Kanika. I was like 12. I was very susceptible to what I saw in media, and very sad about the squirrel. That's one of those things that keeps me up at night. I still feel guilty about bringing that thing into your house, Dr. Kelly. Dr. Kelly. I'm just glad you didn't make it a habit. Although I do find it interesting through that whole conversation, the way she was staring. I mean, she might just be staring intermittently at him to make sure he doesn't go whatever Wuji thing is wrong with him. How well do you know Tabitha? Dr. Kelly. Not very. I'd know her a lot better if your family didn't seem to be so afraid of doctors. I can count on one hand the number of times she's been in my office. No wonder everyone but that old Edwardine died so young. Hopefully your mother was better about taking you to doctor's visits. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something genetic at play, and it's much better to catch those things early. These both feel rude. And I'm not going to accuse her of whatever the name, factitious syndrome. Or if that's, yeah, I think that's right. I don't want to push this too much, but you see any weird hairless creatures scurrying around in the woods? Dr. Kelly. I don't tend to go wandering in the woods, so no. Reese. You don't have to go all the way to the woods. They've been coming to our windows at night. Dr. Kelly. They've been what? Stella. There are these things called ditchlings, and they've been preying on the local wildlife, and Rowan and I found a whole nest of them the other night when we... Dr. Kelly. Oh, I see. They're some of your little cryptozoological creatures. Kanika. I know it sounds pretty out there, but I've seen these things in person. We're not messing around. They're out there laying eggs in animals and doing God knows what else. Dr. Kelly. And here I thought you finally managed to get an even head on your shoulders, Kanika. Oh, the way Kanika's like, oh no, I had her respect and now I have lost it. She's so nervous around Dr. Kelly. Anyway, Dr. Kelly. Seems like Stella might be a bad influence on her. I know her little stories can be convincing, but that's only because she's managed to so thoroughly convince herself. Reese. Right, Box Movie, you're right. They do have the pictures on their phones. They could push the issue by just being like, look, we have literal photographic evidence. Reese. She's not making up stories. Neither is Kanika, and neither am I. All you have to do is look outside after dark. There have been more every night. They're all pale and doughy, and their faces, like they're sculptures of humans that didn't set right. Dr. Kelly. I see. You stay up too late painting your grisly faces, so you've started to see them everywhere. I'm sure whatever's outside, it's just raccoons or... Reese. Stop. Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things I tell you to fit what you think should be true. There's weird shit going down in Scarlet Hollow, whether you want to face it or not. Have there been any strange illnesses spreading around town? Dr. Kelly. What? No. Kanika. Are you sure you haven't met with any miners who had unusual symptoms? Anyone who seemed sort of drippy? Or strangely ominous when they talked? Sorry to pry, just doing my due diligence. Dr. Kelly. Absolutely not. I've barely seen so much as a runny nose, which is a good thing. If you're so concerned about the mine, why don't you have Rowan ask Tabitha? I have no interest in violating HIPAA for your weird little investigation into nothing. Alright, I will end this with... Do you know Sam Wayne? Dr. Kelly. Sam Wayne? Dr. Kelly takes a moment to think. No, doesn't ring a bell. Someone you know? Stella. Someone who's been following Rowan around. Super mysterious guy. Kanika. We have reason to believe he might have caught some weird illness in the mines. He definitely looks like he could use medical help, so please let us know if he shows up or anything. Dr. Kelly. If there's someone harassing you, you should get the police involved. This isn't any of my business. I'm gonna call that there. And I have now exhausted all the options I am willing to go through on this run for this character, so I shall remain silent. You remain silent, quietly picking at the store-bought spaghetti and dinner rolls. Reese. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Rowan is still in town? Dr. Kelly. We'll have to see how you're feeling. Reese. I can handle a movie, Doc. Stella. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. Dr. Kelly. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. Reese. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Dr. Kelly. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Stella. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Dr. Kelly. Damn it! I knew it! I knew this would be too much. Everyone get out of my house. Please just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. Kanika. But we can't just leave him like this. Stella. Now is when he needs friends the most. Right, Box Puppy? Whatever this is, I don't think it's something you can fix. And also, I agree with everyone around who's been saying, Kanika and Stella and Reese are all on the same page. There is no reason, whatever he's got, it's chronic. And it's not a reason to not ever see his friends. That's a shitty way to live. Dr. Kelly. No, now is when he needs me the most. I am his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him. I know that, and he knows it too, but all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. Yeah, since I've decided I'm going polite for this character, we have stuff to do anyway. Dr. Kelly. Good. Then go away and do it so I can focus on taking care of my son. The three of you are rushed to the door. Stella. We'll be back, Reese. Kanika. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, my headcanon for this is 100% still that Reese died and Dr. Kelly made a demon deal to bring him back, but it didn't bring him back all the way. There's something, severely wrong with him. Obviously there's something severely wrong with him, but there's something, bringing people back from the dead seems like a thing that would not be doable without consequences even through a demon deal. Or especially through a demon deal. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your faces. The click of a lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. Either that or maybe he had a life-threatening injury and she wasn't sure she could actually help him recover. And she made a demon deal and now there are consequences, maybe. But I actually kind of like he actually died and she brought him back with demon deals theory. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it until we hear more. Something weird happened when I went to wash my hands. It was... Oh, wait, actually, I don't think I read this part. So Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your faces. The click of a lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. So I am gonna say, something weird happened when I went to wash my hands. It was like I was forced to try and break into the clinic. Kanika. Forced how? Rowan. It was like something was making me go there. Stella. I wonder, was it like that carving in the pit last night? Before you had the seizure, it was kind of like you were hypnotized. Kanika. I wasn't there, but I guess I'll take your word on it. Hypnotism seems like a step up from what we've been dealing with, though. Stella. I don't know. A lot happened last night, but the whole thing was very trance-like. I guess it was kind of similar. Stella. What if there's another carving in there? That'd be so weird. If there is, I wonder if it'd give you another vision. Maybe these things have something to do with the ditchlings. Kanika, you're not suggesting we go poking around in there, are you? Stella, of course I am. Maybe tomorrow. Kanika, I am not breaking into Dr. Kelly's clinic based on a bad vibe Rowan got. I'm also going to do this keen eye thing because I like it. Did either of you get the impression that Dr. Kelly is afraid of Reese? I could have sworn I saw genuine fear in her eyes for a second there. Stella, are you sure she wasn't just being overprotective? I'm sure that's all that's going on, and she has every right to be. I mean, the poor guy took 2 bites of food and got sick immediately. I can't imagine what that's like for both of them to go through. Kanika, if anyone is afraid of anyone in that house, Reese is afraid of his mom. Stella, I think you're both reading into things too much. Dr. Kelly is good people. Kanika, look, I'm just saying maybe there's more to their dynamic than just him being sick, but it's not like there's much we can do about it right now. Stella, we could probably go back and forth on this for a while. Let's grab Gretchen and get going. The sun is setting and we wouldn't want to miss a second of ghost action. Stella hurries off down the hill, almost as if to run away from what just happened. You and Kanika follow her down the slowly darkening street. Lit by... Okay, actually, this is a great point to stop. So, I doubt that Black Tabby is live quite yet, but anyone who has been enjoying me watch this game, I totally recommend the Black Tabby Games stream that's happening in just 10 minutes. But this feels like the perfect midpoint of the chapter, so this is, I think, where I am going to call it for tonight. I was going to say, or this afternoon, but it's kind of early evening, so. But yeah, thank you so much, Box Puppy, for hanging out. Thank you for Pukara for lurking. And thank you anyone who watches this later or who might have been lurking. I appreciate you all very much, and I am hoping to be back at it with the last part of this run next Sunday, but since it's a holiday weekend, like I was saying earlier, I can't be 100% sure, but that's the hope. And if not then I'll do it the next weekend. And then my next other type of stream is tomorrow, Monday at 4 p.m. as usual for my Cinderella Phenomenon streams. Alright, so thank you so much everyone for coming, and I will see you later. Bye!